All right, let's get to year one impact. I actually have this as an emphatic 5 stars. Without a doubt, this is a 5-star one to me, man. I think he comes in immediately and he's your starting left guard day one. And the one thing I believe he will affect in a positive way early on is in the run game, right? We talked about this plenty of times. He led all FBS tackles in big-time blocks in 2021, more than any of the top tackles taken in front of him. He just moves people, folks. He shows that power. He finishes. I think he's equipped athletically to get outside on the pulls, on the reach blocks, and get to the second level. I think he plays with that violent nature and the mental fortitude of, hey, young fella, you're going for a ride. One way or another, I'm going to put you in this dirt or I'm going to drive you to the sidelines. And that's just something we didn't have at that position last year. And I think that's because of the defensive background that comes into play. And he actually talks about having to kind of keep that under control. He says the biggest part of that is trusting the process. Everything is not going to come fast on the O-line. It's not like you're just running through somebody like on the D-line and you're just putting somebody down or working on a move. You're working on how to stop some of the best athletes on the field, and doing these moves, you're trying to put the dude into one of the quietest nights of his life. You love to hear it. Now, where he can get better at, obviously, and where there will be, I think, maybe a negative impact early on, is that he'll probably get beat from a technique standpoint. When you look at his pass blocking, once he's locked into you with his hands, it's pretty much a wrap. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Tyron Smith. But the obvious difference is Tyron does it at a very high consistency rate, where Tyler needs work on his discipline, his hand discipline, and his technique. Now, he may not give up as much ground from a power perspective as Connor Williams, but we'll have to see if that's negated by his fundamentals, which are extremely raw and needs work, obviously. Now, this is what Tyler Smith's coach at Tulsa had to say about his technique. His hands got wide at times. Once he gets his hands back inside and corrects some of those technical things, he can be a beast. Like I said, I watched the Houston game, and there was a reoccurring theme every time he was beat. It was either his hand placement, or his strike timing wasn't right, or he was setting too wide, opening his hips for the defender to cross his face. The good thing is I think these things can be coached. I do. But I did find it funny and almost kind of comical when players, specifically number 12, they tried to run right down the middle on Tyler. It was almost comical because he anchors really well. He's extremely strong. So it's going to be tough for anybody to just beat him down the middle of his chest. And that's kind of where you're going to have to beat him at the guard position. But these plays you see here are why at tackle, it just slow down. He needs a lot of work out there. Now, he is working with, I believe, Marcus Cannon to help with his hand placement, his footwork, his kick step, et cetera, all the things that you need to be a left tackle. So, you love to hear that. You love to hear that he's determined to be better. And I think all of us agree that the Cowboys fans would love to see him go work with offensive line guru Big Duke. He's pretty much one of the main reasons why Terrence Steele has turned into a pretty solid tackle in the NFL. So if you hear that Tyler is working with Duke, that's awesome. But right now, the fact that he's working with Marcus Cannon, an NFL player, on all those things that he knows he needs to get better at, you love to hear it. So I'm giving year one impact of 5 stars. I think he's going to help with the run game early from a positive impact standpoint. But on the negative side, I think you may see him give up some plays from a technique side of things.